I feel so bad for Gwen. I mean, to come all the way out here to LA to see that prenatal specialist, and then to lose the baby anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone can stand the kind of pain they must be feeling.
Right. And I think the only way that Gwen's gonna feel better is if she actually had a chance to wring Teresa's neck, you know, the way she wanted to in the first place.
Can't blame her. Now that she's got her memory back and she remembers Ethan and the serious lip lock with Teresa on TV.
I warned Teresa that this was going to blow up in her face. I mean, if she'd have just listened to me and hooked up with you, Fox, do you realize none of this would have happened?
Yeah, I know. I wanted that too.
Oh, I know you did. But she just couldn't stop obsessing about Ethan. And now, because of that, a baby has lost her life, and innocent people have been hurt. This whole thing could have been avoided if Teresa had been with Fox. And then Ethan wouldn't have been tempted by her and kissed her. And Gwen wouldn't have had to have seen what she saw and gotten so upset that she lost her baby.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you can't rewrite history.
You know, I just want to know what's wrong with everyone. I mean, why can't they just do the right thing so that innocent people aren't hurt?
You're talking about me and LaToya, right?
You should have told me that you were married, Chad.
But I didn't know we still were. Baby, even when we were hitched, it wasn't a love thing. Okay, it was only on paper.
A legal piece of paper that's still valid. Oh my God, I mean, what am I doing with a married man who didn't even have enough respect for me to tell me where things stood?
I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but it wasn't out of lack of respect. It was stupid. It was careless, and I'd do anything in the world to turn back the clock and do it all over again.
Well, that's not the way things work, Chad. And the way it looked to me, LaToya seemed happy as a clam that she's still your wife. Oh, I'm sorry. On paper. It didn't seem like she wanted to let you go at all.
Well, it's not all up to her.
Yeah, well, that's not the way she sees it. All I know is that I don't want to end up like Teresa, Ethan, and Gwen, with broken hearts.
What are you saying? Are you breaking up with me? What are you saying, Whitney? Are you calling it quits between us?
Chad, I don't know what I'm saying right now. I mean, I don't even know what I'm thinking. Too much has happened right now for me to absorb it all.
Meaning LaToya.
Chad, can you just try to put yourself in my shoes? I left my family in Harmony to move out to Los Angeles with you. Now, I broke their hearts when I made that decision, but I believed it was the right thing because of how deeply I felt about you, and because we were going to get married to one another.
We're still going to get married.
Chad, you are married. God, oh, I know. You didn't know that you were, and you're going to get a divorce as soon as possible.
Absolutely,
now.
absolutely.
You just don't get it. That's not the point. The point is, you should have told me about this before I moved 3,000 miles away from my family.
You're right. I should have. And from now on, I'm going to tell you everything there is to know about me so there's no more surprises.
It's a little late for that, Chad, don't you think? I mean, I've already got this biggest surprise of my life.
Man, you've got to believe me when I tell you I didn't marry LaToya out of love. Okay, we were two screwed up kids that had no real family. No future mapped out in front of us that we could see. We were drawn to each other out of a need not to be alone. Baby, we weren't the kind of soulmates you and I are.
Did you put that in your marriage vows?
I'm just telling you how it is.
Yeah, I know how it is. Whatever you want to call it, you cared enough about LaToya to marry her. Why should she accept that you've changed your mind?
Because it's only fair. Look, I've changed from the person I was when I knew her. Baby, I love you. And I want to have a life together.
Isn't that the same thing that you once said to LaToya? If you can change your mind about wanting to spend the rest of your life with her, who's to say you won't do the same thing with me?
I don't know how you can even ask that.
And I don't know how you can be so surprised. I thought that I was the first girl that you ever truly loved. And now I come to find out that I'm not even going to be the first Mrs. Chad Harris? Yeah, I have questions. I have doubts.
Okay. I don't blame you. But I can promise you that nothing about our relationship is in any way like the one I had with LaToya.
You know what? You keep saying that, but I just don't buy it. You don't marry someone that you have no feelings for.
I told you. We were two lonely kids who had no one to care for us. All right, so we turned to each other for companionship. I never loved her the way I love you.
God, I want to believe you, Chad.
Then do. Look, LaToya and I were just teenagers. But we didn't know the first thing about life, much less love or relationships. Okay, and I've grown up since then. I love you with my whole heart, my body, my soul. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, be the best husband you can imagine. I'm committed to you, Whitney, and only you.
Oh, my God. How am I going to tell my parents that you're married?
You don't have to. I'm getting a divorce.
You know, maybe you don't understand, not coming from a real family the way I did. But I tell my mother and father everything, even the bad stuff. I mean, they have every right to know what I just found out here.
You know what your father's going to say.
Yeah, actually, everything that he's already said before. Only now he's going to have a leg to stand on, isn't he?
Is that what you think? That I'm the kind of low-life street punk he's always accused me of being? You know, maybe it's true that I'm not good enough for you. You know, I've always felt that. But I can promise you one thing. No one could ever love you as much as I do.
I wouldn't be so sure, Chad.
Oh, my God. You're right. Daddy's going to say that this is proof that he was on to you all along. And that if you lied to me about LaToya and being married, that you'll lie to me about anything else.
You think he's right about me, don't you?